Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Welcome to episode 49 of Talk Smart with
Pugh.
and McCart. That is young Joe Pugh over there, probably the busiest man at IFL. There's not a show you don't appear at the UK in the UK, young man. How are you?
I'm well, mate. I'm well. I'm looking slightly more pale than you, but that's because you just got off holiday. Good holiday, mate.
Definitely. I was in the Titanic in Belek in Turkey. Wonderful hotel. Bumped into Wardy. Bumped into Ben Marksby, a couple of fighters. Wardy from Tyson Fury's camp. So, yeah, it was a good holiday. Good to get away with the wife and kids and enjoy some sun. And as you can tell, my nose is a wee bit red. My bald napper is a wee bit red if you're seeing this on YouTube, but you won't see this on Spotify. But, yeah, I'm a little bit looking like a tomato in your own words, Joe. Is that right?
Yeah. Did you use any sun cream? Like, what factor was it? Or actually, no. You strike me as the type of guy that's too hard for suntan for sun cream, mate. That's against your morals, surely.
Definitely, mate. I don't wear that cancer stuff. I mean, I'm pure baby oil from day 1 to day 7. Baby oil, straight to it, straight to the tanning. Yeah, let's talk to it. I mean, again, it's been a relatively quiet sort of week or two in boxing, but there was a huge a show at the Copper Bosch at the weekend that you were at. Your man Johnny Fisher, the big heavyweight himself, destroyed Alen Babic within what 31, 32 seconds. But I managed to catch it at the airport. I didn't see the whole card because, like I said, I was traveling home. But yeah, big Johnny Fisher. I'm excited about this young man.
Yeah, great. What a time to be alive, mate. What a time to be alive. We all went down to the Copper Bosch, see England win on penalties. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. For those listening, that's Andrew putting his thumbs down.
Right. Before we talk about the boxing, let's talk about the football. How many games has England won within the 90 minutes? I mean, you've had the easiest route to any semi-final I've ever seen. What you had: Denmark, Serbia, Slovenia. Oh my goodness, man, Slovakia. I mean, it's the easiest route to any semi-final, and you've not won one game. You've won one game maybe in the 90 minutes, and this will be the year you win it. When there's no expectation, there's actually no expectation for you to win it, but this will be the year you win it, and you don't deserve to win it because you're terrible. You're absolutely shocking.
Hang on, what's that I can spell? I can spell bitterness. I can spell bitterness.
Always.
All the way down from Scotland to Essex. I can smell some serious bitterness, mate. To be honest, like, who cares how we're playing? Who cares?
Yeah,
when you look, right, semi-final, final, quarter-final, semi-final, after many years of upsetment, of acting really like a Scotland fan because we didn't do much better than you. And now we're finally getting into the big games. Netherlands on Wednesday, and it was popping off at the Copper Box. And I'm so glad that we won because it set the night up absolutely perfectly. I
can only imagine, mate, to be honest, what it's like to get to a European semi-final at a boxing event, which the sport I love. And if and you know me, I'm a proud Scotsman, so I can only imagine, and I probably will only ever imagine it because it will never happen in ever, for my lifetime anyway, that Scotland will ever get to any sort of European final while I'm at a boxing event, watching it on the big screen and watching one of your good guys that you know very well, and Johnny Fisher, getting an absolutely outstanding victory. I will never experience that in my lifetime, so you're very lucky, Joe. But talk to me about Johnny Fisher. Like I said, 30 plus seconds, 31, 32 seconds to get rid of Alen Babic.
Wild, absolutely wild. I weren't expecting it to be over that quick. I don't think anybody was. Yeah, as you said there, do know Johnny very, very well. Good friend of mine, but love Alen Babic as well. Obviously, fantastic entertainment. Yeah, great guy, but just shows the power of the man, I think. Like, it is raw power that he possesses, and maybe I even underestimated before Saturday night how much power he did have, because I thought maybe he might box and get a stoppage in the mid rounds, because we do know Alen Babic is very dangerous very early, but he didn't even give him a chance to be dangerous, mate. He hurt him in the first 25 seconds and just put a 6-punch combo together that ended it in 36 seconds, which is just amazing. I can't believe it. One of the best atmospheres I think I've ever been to. I think every pub in Essex would have been empty that night because the whole of Essex was in the Copper Bosh. Yeah, and now it's difficult. I really do think it's difficult because whilst you want him to be in them, those big fights, whilst he may be capable of beating those big domestic guys, you want to get him to get rounds because he does need rounds under his belt. And we thought he was going to get a few rounds on Saturday night, and we didn't, mate. We didn't even get a full round. We didn't even get a full minute.
Well, that's it. You talk about Johnny's power, but he has, 12-0, 11 knockouts. He seems to throw a lot of punches and bunches. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like Alen Babic, but once he throws his punches and he knows he's got you hurt, he'll keep swinging until he knocks you out. And he sets a high pace as well for a heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't sit there and, do you know what I mean? If he'll swing and he'll go at you, and like I say, I would like to know what the stats are of how many punches he throws around compared to every other heavyweight, because I think he throws a lot more punches than the majority of the heavyweights, especially the top 10 here in the UK. And you mentioned there, it's going to be hard to match him. I know there's a Dave Allen talk, and they had sort of like it was an Instagram live I saw the other night. They're talking about a potential fight. But yeah, for Johnny, how do you match him? Is he ready for the Solomon Dakers? Is he ready for the Fraser Clarks, the Fabio Wardleys? I mean, he's sitting, I'm sure he must be in the top 10 in the UK by now. Do you know what I mean? So how do you match him for his next fight? Is it a Dave Allen? Is Dave Allen ready for Johnny Fisher? I know he's got a fight this weekend, Dave Allen. And, you know, Dave Allen, I've seen on his live as well that he said that people saying that he'll get knocked out in a round and this, that, and the next thing only adds more fuel to the fire for him. So,
yeah.
Again, Joe, how have you had a promoter's hat on right now? Who would you like to see him up against?
Look, I know this is going to be the most popular answer, and I know he's just been announced to fight Moses Talma, but I'd like to see him fight someone like Maris Wack, because don't get me wrong, Wack is limited, but very, very, very few people stop him. He's a big guy, and he is kind of like an immovable object. Mm-hmm. So let's see how he gets on against Moses Talma in I think it's 3 weeks' time, 27th of July at the O2 Arena. But if he comes out of that, if he takes Moses some rounds, I'd like to see him against someone like Wack who can nearly guarantee rounds. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, imagine if he did take out Wack like no one else has done before. Mm-hmm. Then that just shows the massive, massive statement. Don't get me wrong, I love the Dave Allen fight, but I think Dave Allen said by his own admission he's not quite ready for that yet. He wants to get a few more rounds under his belt, probably have this fight this weekend, maybe another fight after that. I don't think Johnny Fisher, from what Eddie Hearn said, is going to be headlining in a big fight until the early parts of next year. I think they're going to take him to Australia, where he's absolutely massive, fight him on the Liam Paro undercard. I think they're going to try and get him another one in on an undercard, a big undercard, and then take him back to London, February, March next year, and let's have him in against someone like David, and let's have him against someone like the winner of Dakers Adelaide, because I know Johnny, and Johnny wants to do it the traditional route. He's already got that Southern Area title against Harry Armstrong last year, and he wants the English title before he moves on to the British title. Don't get me wrong. If Sol Dakers wins, same management stable. Doesn't look likely. But Sol Dakers has been extremely vocal about wanting that British, and he's already had the English, so he might vacate after this Adelaide fight if he does get the win. Because he's a 50-50, by the way. Dakers Adelaide, great fight. Can't wait for it 2 weeks' time. So if he wins, then I think he'll be looking to move towards the British, and then we could be looking at a vacant title. But if Adelaide wins, love that fight. Absolutely love that fight. That is two powerhouses going at it. We know Johnny Fisher's power. By the way, the one fight where he didn't get the knockout, he had a broken right hand. He broke his right hand.
Only a 4-rounder as well, wasn't it?
It was a 6-rounder. It was a
Was it?
6-rounder against Nguema. Yeah, he took him 6 rounds, and he had a broke hand. He couldn't throw the straight right hand, so he won the fight on his jab. He was cut as well. Like that's what it is. But I think his other 11 fights show the power the man possesses, and I really hope we get many more big nights, not just at the Copper Bosch, because that was basically sold out. They can go there again, do it out for the whole 7,000. I think there was about 6,500 in there on Saturday night. And then you've got to move up to, you've got to be looking to move towards the O2. I really think when Johnny Fisher fights for a British title, you'll be selling a lot of tickets in the O2. And I'm talking maybe early teens, thousands.
Listen, he can do it himself. I know there's a lot of fighters in London, a lot of fighters in that Essex area that Eddie can help fill that an O2, but it almost seems like the way Johnny Fisher's trajectory is going in terms of his fan base, and a big shout out to his dad as well. He the way he just runs social media, it seems right now, and he's doing a lot for his son in terms of the tickets and the Bosch Army, and he's doing it so well that he's created this huge fan base all over the world. I seen the Scotland fans over in Mallorca, I think it was, when Scotland got beat, and they were jumping out, even though we got beat. It's any excuse to drink if we lose or win. Do you know what I mean? So I seen the Scotland fans all over the big man, and he was loving it, and he's just created this whole following for Johnny and himself. And yeah, Johnny can do the O2 himself. I'm pretty sure he can. But again, if you fill in them, that Jimmy Sains and those Giorgio Fisioli, who was there at the weekend, those type of guys, they can help Johnny along the way, because they're young fighters up and coming. They need to continue their careers on the undercards of these huge names, or these huge events. And if they can just jump on Johnny's coattails and sell out these copper boxes and O2s and whatnot, it's going to be, the future's bright for these young fighters, and I love it. And like I said, Johnny's at that age now with these top heavyweights, like we've spoke about the last time we done this podcast, the 35, 36, 37 years old. They've got 2 or 3 fights left. So Johnny Fisher, with his popularity, his fighting style, you're almost needing another heavyweight to come in and grab this division by the scruff of the neck and take it. And Johnny Fisher, listen, if you think he's limited the way he boxes, I don't think we've seen the full Johnny Fisher yet. I don't think we've seen his full potential. He's been cut, like you said, so we know he can handle adversity, and he's done fantastic in his last 3 fights, I think it is, with Henry Armstrong, the guy out in America and around, and then obviously Alen Babic and around. Yeah, I can't wait. I love Johnny Fisher as well, by the way. I've met him a good few times, and he's just one of the nicest guys in boxing as well. So all the best to him. But on the undercard, let's talk about the undercard then. I know Jimmy Sains was on it. I love Jimmy Sains, Giorgio Fisioli, Buttigieg as well. These young fighters coming, John Hedges, Reece Bellotti, who I like. It's a great time for South England boxing, if you want to call it, because these are all from the Essex area, I believe.
Yeah, look, it was a bit of a mix for London. Obviously, you got Reece Bellotti from Watford, and since he's moved up to super featherweight, it's like serious, just turned into a new boxer. It's amazing now. He's got that British Commonwealth, defended that once now, and now he's got to be looking towards bigger fights, like really big fights now. Obviously, Maisie Rose Courtney, it didn't go her way. She lost to Jasmina. Jasmina's really good, you know. Jasmine is actually really good, and I know Maisie Rose and Chloe Watson were meant to be fighting for the European. I believe that was kind of being scheduled for September time. So I think Jasmina goes into that fight, and that'll be a really, really good fight for Chloe Watson. Yeah, but Maisie Rose will come again. Love Maisie Rose. Great attitude to the game. So no doubt she'll come again. John Hedges, he boxed really well against Lewis Oakford. Disgusting head clash, which caused both men to be cut. Luckily, John Hedges' cut wasn't too bad. Like it was only a small cut, but Oakford, horrific cut. So that went to the scorecards, technical decision, and John Hedges becomes a Southern Area champion, which he was buzzing about, by the way. A lot of people wrote him off after his debut. Yeah, he had a poor debut. against a really tricky southpaw as well in a 4-rounder. So, which I think people kind of blew that whole scenario up for no reason. And another guy I know really well, John, is he moved to Mark Tibbs, and since then he hasn't really looked back. And when he was on a good run of form on these big cards, then he had a huge hand injury. So he's overcome a lot, and I think he's only 22, you know. So he's very young, he's very fresh, and I love the way he boxes, and he looks like he's growing into a bit of a man now. I joked with him after the fight in our interview. I said, John, you didn't have that chest hair when you made your debut, mate. Like he is becoming a man now. So he's really exciting. Alen Babic, he sold a ton of tickets. I think he sold about 400 tickets in the Copper Box. Obviously, big following from East London. Giorgio Vizioli, we was at his last fight in Leeds, weren't we? And I absolutely love Giorgio. Just fantastic fighter. A lot of potential. When I spoke to Mark Tibbs about him earlier on in the week, and he said, look, he could be better than Billy Joe Saunders, which is a massive statement. Yeah, obviously Mark and Jimmy Tibbs worked with Billy Joe for a very long time. Jimmy Sains, that was his second fight in 7 days, by the way, because he fought on the Top Tier show last week, and now he's fought on that show. Young heavyweight Louis Pachetti opened the card as well. Exciting. It's interesting, Louis Pachetti. He's not the biggest heavyweight, but I think he's only 18, 19 years old, and he said, look, I'm going to grow into this weight. I'm going to stay at heavyweight. And, yeah, over time, he will become a big heavyweight. And I've seen him fight on the Selhurst Park card, and I've seen him fight at the Copper Box. And, yeah, I do like him.
Well, like I say, the young talent coming through, I'm excited about, because boxing needs these young guys to keep performing, especially, again, if we're going to be biased here on these shores, we need the next crop of world champions coming through, and it's exciting times because I think we've got a good talented crop of young prospects coming through. And yeah, and I think we can probably move over to the US now, because Shakur Stevenson was fighting on the same evening as Donnie Fisher, albeit out in America in his hometown of Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, a little bit of mixed reports coming from that fight in terms of his performance. What did you make of it all? I know, like, people, they were saying that the fans were booing, and a lot of fans left from the 10th round, 11th round, 12th round, and yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on it all.
Look, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the whole fight. I've watched the highlights because, yeah, wild night at the Copper Bosch. But I think the problem is when you're so talented and when you know you could outbox someone for fun for however amount of time, sometimes you can get stuck in a rut. Sometimes you can kind of go into cruise control. And I think that's what he's done. I think Shakur's one of those guys that we'll see the best of him when he's fighting in those big fights, because he knows he will have to go through the gears. So it is what it is. But I think the main talking point is just everything that went on throughout the fight week, just basically declaring himself outright against Top Rank, which is wild scenes, Andrew.
Especially if he wants this Lomachenko fight, and then I think that's not going to happen. If now that he's a free agent and Loma's still with Top Rank, so we can scratch that fight. Gervonta Davis, that's the fight I want to see. I want to see Shakur with Tank, or even a Devin Haney, but I think I want to see him in with Tank. And yeah, I'm just watching with Shakur, like, on the Twitter, and he's going off. I think he went off on Tim Bradley, he's went off on Marcus Brown, Ish Smith, Ryan Garcia. He's went off on everybody. I don't think he can take criticism that well, as you can tell by his Twitter. But I mean, you can see the view of the fans, right? The fans love to see action. They want to see knockdowns. They want to see knockouts. But if you're fighting the same style and it's the same way, and you turtle up and land, roll, and then land a shot and roll. I mean, it's effective. He's 22-0. But again, I think, I don't want to criticize him because he is a talented fighter, man. He's definitely up there in the pound for pound list. Top top 15 anyway. But you kind of want to see a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like Tank gives you that little bit more. Tank will give you that little bit of boom, boom, boom. He'll give you that explosiveness. When Shakur just seems to be pot shotting. Do you know what I mean? Just pot, pot, pot. I think if he just put his foot on the gas and put a little bit of venom behind his shots, he'd probably get these guys out of there.
Yeah, look, you go back to the Floyd model and you see the defensiveness, the pot shots, like you said, and it's kind of that model again. But when you look at Floyd Mayweather's early days, he was getting them out there when he was Pretty Boy Floyd and not Money Mayweather. He was showing exciting fights. So until he got to that level of stardom where he transcended the sport, whilst everybody in boxing knows Shakur Stevens is one of the best talents out there right now, he isn't at that level of stardom yet. He isn't at that level. Whatever he does, he'll sell out arenas. It'll be loved or be hated. Mm-hmm. Like he hasn't transcended the sport, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So look, he's come out, been very vocal about Top Rank. So some of the stuff you don't like to hear, to be honest, when you start talking about the race and things like that. We're not out there. We don't know what's going on. But obviously, Top Rank, Bob Arum have been around for so long. You don't really want to see that sort of criticism. But Shakur obviously feels the way he feels. He's now a free agent. And now it'll be interesting to see if he signs with a promoter, if he does it fight by fight.
Eddie Hearn?
And more importantly, yeah, there you go, Eddie Hearn. But more importantly, as boxing fans, as boxing reporters, whoever we are in boxing, we don't actually really care by who they're signed with. We only care about the big fights, and I just hope a big fight will be made for him very soon.
Like I said, the big fight I want is the Tank Davis fight. I think that just makes sense. Right now,
Tank's fighting Loma. I think Tank's fighting Loma.
Yeah, I think Tank's again fought well.
And I love that fight, by the way.
100%. I love that fight, 100%. But has Loma not said that he would step aside or something like that for that fight and they get the winner?
No, so
that's what I saw. I read that somewhere.
I think his trainer or someone part of his team, I might have this wrong, put it out, and then a couple of hours later I was only joking, obviously, to Loma's fight.
Right. I've seen that when I was on holiday.
But yeah, some like I don't understand. Like I think it might be the US humour, but yeah, we don't really get this over here, do we?
No, definitely not. Listen, I tell you what, the UK fighters, British fighters, we don't seem to be going on Twitter as much as the American fighters right now. Do you know what I mean? American fighters, after every fight, man, they're popping off on Twitter, whether it be a Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. They love Twitter, or X, as it is called now. One final one before we wrap this up, man. Talking about exciting, explosive American fighters. Jaron Ennis.
I love this fight. I actually love this fight.
Is it a better fight, do you think? Is it a better fight?
Yes.
Yes?
Well, actually, to be honest, right, it might just be me because I've seen a lot more of Avanesyan.
Yeah.
And as a British fan, and like we've seen Avanesyan, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, you know what you're going to get with Avanesyan. The one question over him is every time he has stepped up to that world-class level, he has slightly kind of come up short. But I love the fight. I really do love the fight. And fair play to Avanesyan. He's been waiting for an opportunity and he took it with not so long to go. And it's Boots Ennis' homecoming. It's Boots Ennis' first fight with Matchroom. His homecoming. We've only got to go back 2 weeks to Sabril Metius' homecoming. Another marquee signing for Matchroom. And it didn't go his way. Like, I'm not saying we're going to see an upset, but are we going to see an upset?
Yeah, nah, I doubt it. I think that Avanesyan is good. We do know him here in the UK. We've seen him fight a lot of our fighters, Josh Kelly being one of them, and we know what happened there. But again, he's had that knockout loss against Terence Crawford, which was more recent than the Kowalski's stoppage. So the Terence Crawford was what, 21, 22, I think it was, 2022, whatever it was, I can't remember.
2022, yeah, I think November 2022, maybe.
Yeah, you can almost like use that as a yardstick for Jaron Ennis to see where he's at. If he manages to get Avanesyan out there. I know his styles make fights, but Jaron Ennis' style and Avanesyan's style, I can see a knockout. I don't think this is going the distance, and I'm favouring Jaron Ennis. if I'm being honest with you. I know we have to sit on the fence sometimes as media, but I just think if we're going to be honest with ourselves, Jaron Ennis is that guy.
Yeah, he's a massive favourite. Like,
oh yeah, and his homecoming. That's the thing. Maybe the homecoming for the thing about the Sabril Matias fight, right? Is a lot was made of the homecoming, and then it was everything in between. He was talking more about Regis Prograis and Devin Haney than
yeah,
Paro. I think if you take your eye off the ball a little bit, especially on fight week, if you're talking about Regis Prograis and then you're talking about Devin Haney over there and this, that, and the next thing, but you've got Liam Paro, who's a very, 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 very good fighter. I mean, you're not. I don't think you're 100% focused, but I think with Jaron Ennis, he's 100% focused on Avanesyan. It's his homecoming, Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a boxing city. If you can just rattle off Bernard Hopkins, all these guys, Gabe Rosado, all the legends, even the Rocky movies.
I was just about to say Rocky Balboa. Yeah,
Rocky Balboa. So it's a fighting city, it's a boxing city, and I wish I was over there, to be honest with you, to watch this homecoming. I can imagine the crowd to be absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But I think Jaron Ennis is that guy. I think we'll see a stoppage, and yeah, that welterweight division's wide open for whoever wants to grab it. You know what I mean?
It needs someone to. It needs someone to now, because it feels like for so long the 147-pound division was the glamour division outside the heavyweight division, but it's like the 147s of Spence and Crawford, that kind of era, they've moved up. Well, we know Crawford is. We think Spence is, and then the guys just behind that might get to 147 eventually, but they're not there yet. The 140-pounders, which we always talk about thriving. So if Jaron Ennis takes this division by the bollocks, for a lack of a better word, and then he's the guy, and then I think in the next 2 years we'll see a couple of elite 140-pounders move up and kind of test him.
Definitely, and I think so. I think some of these 140-pounders will move up. Again, that 140, 147-pound, 154, it's there for the take, especially the middleweight division as well. There's a lot of divisions there for the taking right now, and I hope that Jaron Ennis does grab it by the scruff of the neck, and some of these 140-pounders move up, and we can get these mega fights we want to see. Do you know what I mean? I think right now boxing's booming, and if we keep these mega fights happening, then the sport's in a very, very, very good place. But yeah, Joe, what's happening, man? I mean, you're not at a show this week. What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I hope, I pray, I got everything crossed that I'm doing nothing Saturday, absolutely nothing, because I'll be recharging my batteries. I'll be gearing up for the Euros final on Sunday. We've got to get past Netherlands first, but Sunday, if we're in the final, nobody contact me Sunday, nobody contact me Monday, maybe leave it till afternoon Tuesday, because it is going to be absolutely wild.
Well, Joe, I would say good luck, but I'm Dutch, so I didn't know if you knew that. I'm actually Dutch, so yeah, good luck. You don't need it anyway.
We'll need it. We'll need it. Genuinely.
Oh, listen, it'll be a 1-1 draw after extra time. You'll score a goal in like the last minute of extra time again, or go to penalties again. Boring football. I'm not even interested. So
Come
yeah.
on, everyone loves the penalty shootout. Everyone loves the penalty.
Yeah, I was in the airport watching it with an English guy. An English. This is a story. So the lounge was up there, right? And we were watching it. You can see the big TV screen. So a lot of people were watching the game. I was watching the penalty shootout. And I was like, I looked up because I must have came late, and the English boys like, oh, we've just scored our first penalty. I went, mate, I'm Swiss, I'm Scottish, man. I'm wanting Switzerland to win. He's like, oh, sorry, mate, sorry, mate. So
has Scotland ever won a penalty shootout? Genuine question.
No, listen, I don't know. I can't remember, man. I was only 14 when they were in 98. I can only remember 2 championships, was 96 and 98, and obviously 2024. So I couldn't even tell you, mate, to be honest. If we get to the World Cup, which I very, very doubt it, then I don't know. I just think Scotland's terrible.
It's a good time to be alive, mate. It's a good time to be alive for me. That's all I'm saying.
I bet.
Have you seen the video of me getting woken up, Andrew?
No. I'm not.
Have a look after.
Where is it? On Instagram?
So basically, I still don't even really know how, but on Sunday morning, Johnny Fisher, Big John, Johnny's mum, a couple of the guys from S-Jam managed to get in my room and, wake me up. And
What's
safe
it
to
on?
say,
Is it on Instagram, is it?
yeah, safe to say, I absolutely shits myself.
Right, I'm on it. I'm going to watch that right now as I upload this podcast. But Joe, listen, enjoy your week.
Yep, you too, mate.
And I'll see you very soon, my man.
I'll see you soon, mate. See you later. Cheers.
Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.